Hi guys, I'm Belle. I'm the sales manager here at Holkham, and I thought it's a beautiful sunny day here and it would be great to do a bit of a virtual show round for those of you who perhaps over the next few weeks and months aren't able to make it here to visit us. Hopefully this will give you a bit of a flavour of the kind of venues that we have here. So when you arrive here at Holkham, we have our main visitor car park here, and then we have our estate office car park here, and this car park will be your car park for you and your guests on the day of the wedding. We're going to head up towards the hall, which is up here, and then round here, just so you can understand the logistics, is the Lady Elizabeth wing. So they are right next door to each other. Okay, so I'm just walking from the car park now up towards the hall. You can see we have a beautiful view of the lake over here, and then the main hall over here. Now Holkham is still very much a family home, lived in by Lord and Lady Leicester, and the area we're going to look at today are the staterooms. So they're the rooms that have always been used for entertaining in the hall, and are still used today to hold everything from sort of family events right through to weddings, private parties and corporate events as well. Okay, so I'm just walking up now from the car park, which is here, and you can see we've got the cricket pavilion, cricket pitch here, and round to our beautiful lake. This is the north side of the hall. The Holkham Church is just on the other side of the lake there. You can just about see it popping through the trees. And then if I pan round here, you can see the main entrance to the hall itself. Now on the day of a wedding, all the vehicles would be removed from outside the hall, and the only car that would sort of drive up to the front here would be the bridal car. So again, it's another beautiful backdrop for any photographs you might want to have on the day. Holkham is still very much a family home, so Lord and Lady Leicester live in the hall, and we're going to take a look today at the staterooms. So they're the areas of the hall that have always been used for entertaining and are still used today. Okay, so I've just arrived through the main doors of the hall and come into the vestibule. And the vestibule is where your guests will congregate when they first arrive, and both the bride and groom will take 5-10 minutes to have a brief pre-ceremony interview with the registrars just to fill out a few details before the ceremony itself begins. We then head straight through into magnificent marble hall. And this is by far the most popular room for our wedding ceremonies here at Holkham. The marble hall can hold up to 170 people for a wedding ceremony, and that's 140 on this ground floor area here, and then about an extra 30 around the balcony at the top. Everything in this room gets removed, so this wooden furniture here is all taken away, and you can see our lovely antique table here, which comes down, and that's where you sign the register on the day. And then here you've got our beautiful Steinway piano, which can be used by friends and family you might know that play, or we have a list of fantastic pianists we can recommend. And then about here you can see this step here is slightly wider. That's where your couple would actually stand on the day of the wedding. So I just step back here, right to the back. You can see a lovely aisle here. You'd have chairs on each side, and the bride would arrive down the aisle here, meet her groom, and then together they'd walk up to the steps here. The doors at the top, we're going to head through there in a moment, but they would be closed. Once the ceremony's finished, which usually takes somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes, the couple would head up the stairs into the saloon at the top. We'd close those doors and just give the couple a few minutes just to take in everything that's happened. And then when they're ready, they can either come back downstairs and do a lovely confetti shot here, or they can invite guests up, and you might want to do drinks and canapes in one of the other staterooms. So we're going to head up those stairs now and have a look at one of the other spaces that we've got. So I've just got to the top of the stairs, and I just thought I'd show you the view from up here as well, because it is, there's a view from every angle in here. And of course you can use these stairs for formal photographs after the ceremony as well. And then we come round and through into the saloon. Now the saloon is also licensed for ceremonies, and we can do up to 85 people in here. And you've got the choice really of facing the view, which I'll show you in just a moment, a beautiful Van Dyck or a Rubens at the other end. So pretty good option there. Now I'm just going to show you the view. So this is looking out towards the south of Holkham Park. And you can just see at the top here is the obelisk. And that's the way that we looked as an option to come in through the south gates. And if I just pan round here, give you another view of this room. For winter and autumn wedding ceremonies, we can also light the fires in here, which is really spectacular. So as I said, this room can be used also for ceremonies or for drinks and canapes after the ceremony. So we're just arriving in the statue gallery, and I have to say this is one of my favourite rooms. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So this room is also west facing, so it gets the afternoon sun. And as we're filming at the moment, it is about 20 to 4, so that gives you an idea of the light that's coming in. Again, a beautiful room, the most amazing sculptures in here. This room also licensed for ceremonies up for about 100, 110 people. Or you could do drinks and canapes in here after the ceremony. So you've got the option of either. With all the rooms in the hall, they're all interchangeable. So they've got 4 licensed rooms, and all of them are available for your drinks and canapes as well. And just to show you the view from this room, this one's out towards the lake here. So you can just see the afternoon sun's just beginning to make its way around there from the hall. And beautiful room. As I said, one of my favourites in here. So we entered the statue gallery from this end. We came from the saloon this way, and I walked down here. So I've just come to the other end now. And I'm going to take you through our 4th and final room. This is the North State Dining Room, and this is the smallest of our licensed rooms here at Holkham. And complete with Henry the Hoover. There you go, that shows it's a lived-in house. So this room holds just 30 people for a wedding ceremony, or again a small drinks reception afterwards. And again, I'm going to show you the view here. So this one looks back out over the north, so we entered from this direction. That's the cricket pitch there, and the lake, and actually there's the church again that you can just see there. So a beautiful view. I mean, there really is a view from every window at Holkham. We're very lucky. And then if I just head through this door here, we're back at the marble hall. So that gives you an idea of how those rooms all link together. And I'll just show you it from up here, because this must be one of my favourite rooms up here. The most amazing view, and often you'll find the photographers base themselves up here during the ceremonies, because they really do get the best view. And the acoustics in here, I don't know if you can hear really on the video, but the acoustics in here are amazing. So no microphones needed, your voices carry amazingly in this room. So I'm just going to walk all the way around, and you can see this room doesn't need an enormous decoration. We've got a couple of blossom trees you can use at the bottom here. Sometimes you might get a florist to decorate along the sides, and of course a nice decoration for your registrar's table there. But really this room speaks for itself, and lots of you will have seen the pictures at Christmas of the weddings that we do in here as well. And if you haven't, do scroll back through our feed, because there is some pictures of this room when it's decorated for Christmas, and it really is a very special space. So that's the saloon that we went through at the start. So we've just looped all the way around, as I said, and come back again. And we're back at the marble hall. Okay, so I'm now inside the courtyard. And as I said, this is all completely private on the day, and a really interesting courtyard this actually. So you've got what is now our Courtyard Cafe, which is this building here, and that actually originally was sort of the powerhouse when electricity originally came to Holkham. And then you can just see the top of this hexagonal building here. That's our game larder, so originally where a game would have been hung after a shoot at Holkham. Then if I pan around here, just next to the tractor, I don't know if you can quite make it out, there's one there. These numbers here, those are the numbers of all the vehicles that were stationed at Holkham during the war. So this is the Lady Elizabeth wing, which was built around the same time as the hall. It's originally actually built as a bowling alley, which will make a little bit more sense when we get inside. We have these lovely benches and tables around the outside here, and in the summer we have more out. And you can just imagine a summer's afternoon, drinks and canapes out in this courtyard. Nice jazz band playing. It's very idyllic. We can do garden games on the lawns. We've had goalie nets, so it's all been done. And kids are all the gates are closed, the kids can't get anywhere, so parents can have a drink and enjoy knowing that the kids are safe. So we'll head inside now. Okay, so I've come into the first room of the Lady Elizabeth wing. This is the Courtyard Room, and depending on what other venues you choose for your wedding day, really depends on what this room becomes. Obviously, first and foremost, it is the bar, which will come into its own much later on after supper. But of course, if you chose to have your drinks and canapes outside in the courtyard that we've just seen, then this room would also become your wet weather option. So a lovely light-filled room. And you can see these beautiful big windows here that look out over towards the courtyard that we were just in. And if I head through here, we're going to head into the main room now. Now, do bear in mind, of course, you're seeing this as a completely empty space. At the moment, obviously, we're not holding any events in here, so it has just been cleared down for the moment. So this section here was originally the bowling alley, and that was built in 1867, and you've got the beautiful original ironwork on the ceiling here. The room then became Holkham Pottery in the 1940s, and that operated until 2007. So a very interesting history, this building, very in keeping with the hall, which is just through those doors there, so that's just how close we are to the hall. Down this side of the room here is the kitchens. So it was restored in 2016, all with events in mind. So you've got lots of power in the floor, kitchens down that side, furniture storage down here, along with green rooms for things like your DJ and your band, photographer, etc. And really this space is the couple's own on the day. We will do floor plans for you based on the table layouts you're considering, give you a few different options. We do long tables in here, we do round tables in here, a real mixture. Generally speaking, the dance floor would go in this end area down here, and then the tables lead out from that. But we'll work with each couple to create their own unique feel for this space. So we do everything from small weddings for sort of 50 people in here, right up to larger weddings for 250. This room is also licensed for larger wedding ceremonies as well. We can do up to 300 in here. And I will also pop on some pictures after this video, just so you can see some of how the room is when it's set up. You'll also see around here we've got our furniture here, which couples use as their sort of chill out area. You might have a children's area at the far end there. And then you've got space for things like evening food, gin and tonic bars, photo booths, etc. So space in here to do a variety of different things. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys the South Drive. So this is an option for you to bring your guests into Holkham Estate this way. And as you can see, it's a 2 kilometre long ruler straight drive. And you come from this direction here all the way down, and just to pan around, you then hit the obelisk. Now you may remember when we looked at the hall, we saw the obelisk from inside the hall. So I'm just standing on the other side of that now. So you would have come round the top of the obelisk there, and you can just see the road following you around here. And if I just pan round, I mean, this has got to be one of the best English country house views in the country, surely. And what a way for your guests to arrive. So as you can see, the road continues here. So you go through this gate over Cattle Grid, and then the road winds down, and you end up back at the front of the Marble Hall, which we saw earlier on in the tour. So driving down the road here, this is the view your guests will have. And you can just see the hall there peeping through the trees. And lots of the pictures you'll see on our Instagram are of couples coming up here and standing and having their portraits done in this area here with the hall in the background. So it is absolutely spectacular. And from further back down the drive, you can actually see the sea just behind. There's another monument here, that's the Cook Monument. You can actually see the sea beyond that when you're down the drive as well. So I mean, what a way to approach your wedding, really. So I've shown you the hall and I've shown you the Lady Elizabeth wing, and our final licensed building is the temple, which we're going to pop up and have a look at now. This is the approach to the temple, so you can see it's tucked away in the woodlands of Holkham Park. We're right by the obelisk here. It's just, you can't quite see it behind the trees, but it's just behind the trees here. So that just gives you some geography as to whereabouts we are. And we're going to head up this drive here and take a look at the temple. So I've just come along this track here, and if I just pan round, you'll see the temple really does sit in the middle of the woodlands of Holkham Park. It's very tucked away. And then here's the temple. And obviously, as I'm filming this, it's currently the end of March, so there's no leaves on the trees at the moment. But you can imagine in summer, it's such a pretty little glade, this. So the temple was actually built before the hall, originally as a shooting lodge, which is something that it's still used for today. For a period of time, it was also the gamekeeper's accommodation, and the animals lived underneath, therefore heating the rest of the building. It is our final licensed venue that we have here at Holkham, so you can either do outdoor ceremonies at the temple, or you could do an indoor ceremony for very small numbers, up to sort of 25 people. Obviously outdoor ceremonies, you've got a little bit more flexibility. Later on, I'll also post some pictures of a couple of weddings we've done here, just to give you a feel for what it looks like when it's set up. But we'll head up and have a look now. So, as I said, the temple isn't an option for outdoor wedding ceremonies. So the couple will stand on the portico here, along with the registrar, as that's the licensed building. But then your guests can sit on the grass here, and we would also have an awning there as well, just to protect in case of bad weather. And then as I pan round, you can also see our marquee site there, and depending on the size of your marquee and the weather on the day, we'll work with you about the exact position of that. So just heading inside the temple now. The temple is very rustic, and that's part of its charm, so hopefully this will pick up on camera. Now we've just come to the end of the shooting season, so this table is here from that, but it would all be removed obviously for a wedding. And we've got these lovely murals of Holkham Park on each of the four corners. And for winter weddings in here, of course, we can also light the fire, and it's filled with candles, so it's very pretty. But you can see it's very small, perfect for intimate weddings, and very charming. And if I pan back round again, you can see the setting that it sits in. Thank you so much for watching our virtual show round, and hopefully you found that useful and had a good look at the kind of venues and spaces we have here at Holkham. Any questions at all, or if you'd like to chat through your big day specifically, we can organise either a video chat or a phone call with a member of the team. So just pop us an email, weddings@holkham.co.uk, and we can get that booked in for you. We are also still, as normal, on Instagram at Holkham Weddings. So again, check us out on there. We're posting lots of real weddings, blogs, and tips and hints from some of our suppliers. Hopefully we will see you there. Stay safe, and any questions at all, just pop us an email or a message on socials.